But before we go to that, I want to give you some perspective as to just how high this mud really is and how far my boots are sunken into it. It's almost clay-like if you feel it. It's just really, really thick mud. And as you can see, I'm like trying to pull my boot out right now, and I'm just completely stuck. It just goes so far deep, and it's so slippery in this area. Take a look behind me. You can see these vehicles right here. These people are trying to dig out their vehicles from being sunken into the mud. I spoke with the woman whose mom lives in this house right behind me. She's a 93-year-old woman. They tell me that there's even water flooded inside this woman's home, and this is the first time that they're dealing with severe flooding like this. It's happened multiple times before, and it's a problem that they say they want fixed. I now want to go ahead and show you the streets. My photographer is going to turn the camera. You can see these streets are just completely flooded with water, and if you take a look right here, my photographer is going to zoom into a barrier that the people in this neighborhood came together to help build this morning to stop the water from flowing any more into this street where this house is, just because the flooding is so severe right now. This is a very dangerous area to be. I should have not even walked around into this home, but I just wanted to kind of show you exactly what it looks like and the conditions that these people are having to deal with this Friday morning. Not a good place to be, and it is definitely not safe. Like I said, this mud is very, very clay-like. It's very dangerous to be out here right now. I reached out to the county commissioner for this area just because this flooding has been an issue, like I said. She says she's on her way to meet us out here right now. We'll see what she says and how she's going to help fix this problem coming up on CBS 4 at 5:30. I'm reporting live in La Union, New Mexico. Selena Madrid, CBS 4 at noon.
All right.
Yeah, Shelton. Well, this testing site is located right here in front of Piñon Hall in this big parking lot, and this is just right along University Avenue. Now, this operation may look pretty small from what you're looking at right now because it's closed, but when it's actually set up, it's a really big operation aimed to getting more students and employees who are unvaccinated tested weekly, which they're now mandated to do. Now, April's K9-11 Academy is located up this hill behind me on Desert Wind Way in Las Cruces. Now, not only have we gotten our hands on the body cam video from the lead detective who responded to this case, but he also confirmed with us today that this was not the only incident where animals suffered abuse. Take a look.
I was reached out by multiple people who I interviewed about their incidents with April. So yes, there are other incidents involving April.
On August 17th, Doña Ana County Sheriff's Detective Nathan Jimerson approached the owner of April's K9-11 Academy, April Nastasi, outside of her home with a search warrant.
Do I get to see the warrant?
She proceeds to open the gate to her secluded home and lets detectives in, warning them that the dogs can be aggressive.
Sometimes I have aggressive dogs, so I don't want to get too...
I understand.
Hey! Enough!
Detective Jimerson says he walked into the home looking for evidence of abuse involving a dog named Thor. Thor's owner says the husky was injured at the home and left with multiple holes in his stomach.
The veterinarian, she stated when Thor was brought into the facility, a lot of the skin around the wound was black. And she said this could have been caused either by the necrosis or from burns, either by the cattle prod.
What are you guys asking for?
So we're looking for the cattle prods.
Quiet! Those are my training tools. You guys are...
We have to take those.
3 cattle prods were taken by investigators that day. That includes the one which was used on Thor, and Nastasi even admitted to it.
Okay, so the purple one was used?
On Thor? That you used on Thor? Yes, ma'am.
She even showed investigators how to use it.
But if you let it go and you touch them right away, it'll still shock. But I found out because I shocked my ex-husband.
Several muzzles were also found.
When the dog becomes aggressive, especially with the other dogs, she said it's pretty accustomed to muzzle the dogs.
And just when Nastasi thinks the search is over, detectives also take her phone.
So there's just one last thing on the search warrant I need, and it's your cell phone.
No way!
Yeah.
Dude, this is my business.
I know, but we're gonna do a forensic dump on it, so.
Nastasi ended up giving up her phone to investigators that day, and that forensic dump allowed them to identify the exact day that Thor was injured. Now, Nastasi faces a felony charge and now waits her day in court. I'm reporting live in Las Cruces. Selena Madrid, KFOX 14 News at 5.
Yesterday, the Ruidoso area broke 2 fires. We have the McBride fire and the Nogal Canyon fire. The McBride fire, it quickly spread. It started to move into some residential neighborhoods, and unfortunately right now we are confirming that we have 150 structures lost or damaged.
Started with wind, and then we started smelling smoke in our classroom, and then we got a shelter in place, and then it was sort of freaking out because some kids were like really emotional, you know. Right. And I was just like, is my dad okay? Is my dog okay? I mean, because we live very close to the fire. The fire got within a quarter mile of our house, so yeah. And we could see some houses burning as we were on the bus ride, so.
It was quite overwhelming, to be honest, especially being that there's so many people that live on this little tiny road.
I think what's hard right now is you have 3 classifications of people, and one of them can't leave and their house is gone, so that's the worst kind of class. And anyone can help out. Just talk to the Red Cross and they'll be happy to accept any help that they can.
I've been a Red Cross volunteer for 13 years, and every disaster is very different, but the people are the same. If they need help, you step up and try and resolve, help provide them with their needs. As long as people don't have a place to stay, we'll be here.
Within the last week, significant progress has been made in the flood-prone town of La Union. But files I obtained from one woman who calls La Union home shows that neighbors have asked time and time again for the county to fix these ongoing flood problems for years. Now, after weeks of no response, trying to track down Doña Ana County Commissioner Diana Murillo Trujillo, who represents the area of La Union, to sit down and show her these documents I obtained so she can see for herself, I finally caught up with her in person at the Doña Ana County Commissioners meeting, where she had no other choice but to address my request. Hi, Commissioner Trujillo. Hi, have you been getting my emails and my texts and my calls?
You know what, I haven't been paying attention because I've been canvassing for my re-election for mayor, so I've been out and about, you know what I mean?
Oh, so you haven't been paying attention to my texts and my emails?
I haven't been paying attention to nothing, it's just been, but my phone, I don't think I have it. What's your number?
575.
Thursday, last week.
Yeah, I've called you a lot.
I'm sorry. I've been so nervous with the campaign that I haven't paid attention to anything.
Not only is Diana Murillo Trujillo the Doña Ana County Commissioner for District 2, which represents La Union, she is also the mayor for the city of Anthony. That is the position she is saying she's been distracted with campaigning for. Let's rewind back to September 21st.
This is across the street.
My photographer and I were in La Union working on a story that day. That is the day I spoke with Irene Ortiz, who's lived in the area for more than 20 years. She brought out this large folder with tons of files in relation to the ongoing flood problem.
In this folder, we have pictures, we have emails going back and forth with the commissioners. We also have the meetings that we used to attend, the agendas.
The reason I wanted to speak with Commissioner Murillo Trujillo was to sit down and go over these documents with her. After tracking her down at Tuesday's meeting, she agreed to the interview. Do you feel like the county actually did put off and forgot about these people because that's how they feel?
I mean, I can't answer that because I just came into as a commissioner back in December. So, I mean, I don't know what really happened.
To break down just a few of the outcries for help, Matilde Ortiz, Irene's sister-in-law, sent an email to the county on January 3rd of 2015. It says in part, quote, "This letter is to ask for your help involving the flood situation that has plagued my family and 10 other families' homes. adding, quote, "We have been lucky that no one in this area has lost his or her lives, but if there is no resolution, more damage will certainly acquire." A handwritten letter sent to the county on February 11, 2015, from Kimberly and Peter Majorsick says in part, quote, "This letter is to inform you about the situation in La Union, New Mexico when it rains. My grandmother and aunts, uncles, other family members, and residential neighbors live on Centenario and Conejo, where the water starts rushing down like a raging river." Have you talked to any of the residents in La Union?
Yes, I have talked to them, yes. And we had asked them just to bear with us because, with local or county or even state government, it takes, time.
And I know you mentioned it takes time, but have the residents told you that they have continuously reached out to the county for decades now about this problem?
Yes, they did contact me, and like I stated to them, back then, I don't know what happened with the commissioners or whoever administration was in.
We kind of feel forgotten.
Another big question, what happened to the 2013 Doña Ana Flood Commission La Union Drainage Master Plan? This is a 118-page plan put together back in 2013 by an engineering firm out of Albuquerque, which the county paid the firm $65,000 to complete. In Ortiz's file, you find another letter sent to the county on December 11, 2013, this one from the La Union Townsite President, Marianne Galindo. It says in part, quote, "Doña Ana County Commissioners approved a master plan for flood control in September 2013 for the town of La Union. However, we as a community have not seen any progress."
The plan was already written in 2013, and I don't know how much of this plan they've actually accomplished.
The county's chief communications officer, Anita Skipper, told me the purpose of the study was to analyze the existing drainage conditions in La Union and prepare a plan that would address the flooding problems. She said in the past 9 years since the plan was completed, no funding was ever requested for the proposed projects because they couldn't be completed without the west drain being ready to accept stormwater. This particular drain is the only area water can be channeled to in La Union. She says in May of this year, the process for a study on the west drain was started, but that can take several years to complete.
Unless we reach out, there is no communication with us.
I asked Commissioner Murillo Trujillo this. Are you pleased with what the county has done up to this point? I mean, do you feel like it had to take this disaster, people's homes, lives destroyed, for action to be taken?
I know that what's happened now is very disheartening, right? And I think that's why the county right now is working best to be able to fix this.
Ortiz says she hopes the people of La Union never have to feel forgotten about again, and that the people who were voted in to represent their community use this situation as a learning experience.
When we see it over and over again, then we start wondering, well, what's going on,
Do you feel like looking at all of this today kind of put into perspective the situation that the people in La Union have been dealing with for a really long time?
They've been dealing with it a long time, but I think there's going to be a change. This time it's going to be a change.